Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Firefly Tarot. As you can see here, we have my handmade deck that I'm featuring for today's Pick a Card, called What Does Your Inner Child Want to Tell You? So this is my deck called the Child Tarot, and it features these little spirit figures that are meant to be representing children. I explain it a little bit more in depth in the unboxing video where I flip through the entire deck, just show you what it's all about. If any of you guys missed that, I will link it below. This deck is available for pre-order, and thank you so much for all of you who have pre-ordered. I'm getting close to the amount where I can put in the full order so that I can get it out to you guys sooner instead of like waiting forever. So again, thank you so much, and if anybody else is interested to pre-order, I will link that in the comments and in the description. So I'm going to try to get for you the best messages, advice, wisdom, just anything that your inner child wants to get out, that sort of a thing. And then I'll show you the four groups. Okay, so I think I'll just show you I'll get right into the groups here. So we have the four groups. This is group number 1. This is Magic Tricks, which is also the Magician. That's group number 1. This is group number 2. It's Hanging Around, which is also the Hanged Man. This next one is group number 3, the Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel. And this last one is group number 4, the Two of Imagination, or Two of Cups. As you guys can tell, I changed the titles just to suit my theme and everything. So again, if you want more info, you can watch the unboxing. I'll link that below. But you can take a look here, just whichever one calls to you the most. Okay, just take as much time as you need. You can pause. Okay, so again, we have number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. All right, and whenever you guys are ready, I will see you at your reading. Hey everyone, this is the reading for those of you that chose group number 1 right here, which is Magic Tricks or the Magician. Okay, so let's shuffle, and I am going to start the reading off with my deck, which is a little unusual for me, even though I made it. I am used to the Smith-Waite deck for like 3 years now, so I have to kind of get into it. Spirit, this reading is for group number 1, please. And the messages from their inner child. Please provide us clear, guided messages for group number 1. Okay, so inner child. I'm going to address your inner child directly here. Inner child, please, of group number 1 of Magic Tricks. What is the first message that you have? Please, inner child of group number 1. What would you like to tell them? Thank you. I think, well, the first message was pretty obvious from just the card. I could feel it. Even before I shuffled, your inner child wants to tell you, you are very powerful. Or I don't know if they want to say we, but they said you are very powerful because this is who you are. You are the Magician. So let's see what else. Inner child of group number 1, what do you want to tell them, please? Magic Tricks. What do you want to tell them? What would you like to tell them? Okay. Oh, okay. Wow. So your inner child is not coming through as quite young. Your inner child is coming through as immediately, I think, a bit wise and old-souled. So you guys in group 1, I don't know if you knew this, but I feel that you have a very old soul. And from the beginning, even though we're looking into child messages, I feel like, again, this is sort of like on the rank of a spirit guide. This is really something. So you have here 2 major arcana cards. You have the Devil and the Lovers. So this is Monster in the Dark and the One. So they're indicating here your inner child is talking about some kind of fear that you may have with, I think they're trying to say love in general. It could be self-love. It could be having to do with, let's say, romantic connections. But of course, it could be anything, friendships, family. anything having to do with receiving and giving love. So your inner child is trying to give you this message here that you may need to possibly unlock something within your heart space. So as you can see already, like I said, your inner child is there. I mean, they went straight to it. They went straight to the wise messages. So I feel like your soul is wise, very, very wise beyond its years, old soul, all of that. Yeah. Okay. So this may have resonated for you as a particular thing. If you, for example, struggle with self-love, then this is going to be an obvious message. But I think that usually it's not only self-love. It does extend into other forms of love. Like I said, any kind of connection. Okay? Yeah. Kind of a heavy message, but I really think it is fitting for your own inner child to tell you this right away, because your own inner child loves you, okay? Would you like to elaborate or say anything more? I think your inner child is talking about time right now, because I am drawn to the clock here in the dark, and I don't know if this is going to resonate for 100% of you, but I feel that they're letting you know that there could be some internal fear having to do with running out of time, or if it's not running out of time and maybe more fears for the future, it could be talking about the past. So like it's essentially talking about some unresolved issues that have to do with time, or feeling that pressure, or feeling even time, any kind of past experience kind of weighing on you a bit here. So it's a mixture of things. Okay, can you give us a little bit more information, please? Inner child of group number 1, magic tricks. Thank you. Okay. Your inner child is very much coming across as like almost like an older sibling or something like that, which again is ironic. They're looking out for you. So this makes me wonder what kind of relationship that you have with your inner child. I don't really know how it works in a general sense for everyone. Of course, we're all different. I think that some people do tap into inner child a little bit more than others, right? So I'm just kind of wondering you guys' connection with your own inner child. Are you able to sit down and let them filter through? Are you able to kind of just be like a child? Okay. If the answer is no, then that is another piece that your inner child is saying, that they want to come out more, they want to express themselves more, they want you to trust them more, to kind of just put yourself in that mindset of child. Even though I think that, you know, a common thing, unfortunately, as I said in the unboxing video, is that there are a lot of pains that come with childhood. That's partly why I created the deck. So we have here the wind that was trying to come out. This is actually the world card. It's showing a completion of some sort of a journey. For you guys, I am drawn to the fact that this ribbon, that the ribbon is broken. I feel that for a lot of you, you may have had a lack of closure and completion with more than one part of your lives, and your inner child is trying to draw this out right now. And I think they're saying that they want you to find closure on your own in a different way. So we cannot go back in time, we cannot change history, but we can begin to work with energies. We can begin to work with the present as well, and then therefore create a different future. So I'm not sure what cycle you never got to complete, because it really could be different for everyone. But just as an example, if you never got to explore your path of your own personal fulfillment or happiness, if you never got to explore a side of yourself, such as your creativity or your spontaneity or whatever it might be, your inner child is saying that now is the time. Okay, so now I'm feeling even more, and now I just got the message kind of confirmed here. Your inner child is one of your spirit guides, and I think that's possible. I'm pretty sure that it is. Not that I know much about this whole thing, but I think that that's what your inner child is implying, they're not saying it directly, but they're speaking to you exactly the way that a spirit guide would. So regardless of if you speak to your inner child or live as your inner child often or not, they are coming through to say, hey, I am basically like a spirit guide. So you can call upon me, you can talk to me, you can consult with me, and I will help you. So that's really, really beautiful. Is there any advice, guidance that you can give them for the card, the Win, please? The World card. Yeah. I mean, they're also saying at the same time that you... because it's literally some sort of a win. They are alluding to the fact that you have won many other things, so to speak. I do feel a sense of achievement here, but at the same time, I'm feeling a sense of longing for a particular thing of the past. And the reason I felt that way was because of the backpack. I feel that it has turned into a bit of a burdensome energy for you. Although you have achieved this, although you have reached this point where it's the ending of that chapter, we begin a new one. So it's a mix of things. Okay, what else do they need to know? Inner child of group number 1. Thank you. It's a very sweet reading so far, though. So one additional thing, let me draw. No, it didn't come out. One additional thing your inner child said was because of the, I think it's because of the complex history that you have experienced, it's a lot of the difficulties, the complexities of everything that you've gone through thus far in your life. This is all intertwined. This is all layered and has to do with one another. That lack of closure or lack of completion, a lack of a feeling of, let's say, security or something like that from your past, they're saying that it directly has to do with some of those fears and some of the feelings that you have regarding love or self-love, okay? And like with connections with anybody. So they are connecting the dots here. And you can even see the cards are all touching each other because my cards fall down just, you know, following an energy pattern. It's kind of just random, but they are touching each other. So I do think that they are all related. Now I want to get back to this key. Okay, so the key is in the Monster in the Dark card. What is the key? That would be really helpful for me, like, because your inner child is just such a, I'm getting like the hermit energy, such a wise, ancient feeling, you know? And I'm learning from them right now. Like, I feel like I'm learning from them myself. This is really cool. The key, please. Can you tell us what the key is? I did not expect this, by the way. I thought it was going to be cute messages, you know, like, the key. What is the key? If you can let me know, or can you give me a clue? Oh, wow. Again, very profound. We have the 4 of Swords, or the 4 of Cicadas in my deck. So basically, the key, for one, the key has to do, this is how you can access information. The number one way is actually to completely relax your mind and spirit for a moment. And this is true. I know exactly what they're trying to say. If we're anxious, if we're overthinking, if we're overwhelmed, we cannot receive much psychic information. So the number one thing they're telling you to do is to rest. Yes, it sounds a little bit kind of like tired old advice, but it is true. And if you try this, if you really, really just sit and meditate and allow your mind to rest, you're going to be surprised at the information that comes through. So your inner child is saying that you are the key. You are the key to unlocking yourself. I love that. Okay. And then what happens after they rest and receive? What else? Inner child, please, of group 1. What else? You got the 4 of Wands this time, or the 4 of Summertime. Okay, now, I'm gonna say something that might end up not resonating for some of you, but I did get the distinct message that many of you have a twin flame, or that you suspect you have a twin flame, or you want that connection, that sort of a deep soul connection. Okay, so if it's not a twin flame, obviously it can be something like a soulmate. But this does echo back, I think, to this card where it's like you're reaching for a piece of yourself in the ether and you're just like, come back home, where are you, kind of a feeling. Now that's really, I mean, that can go either way. That is a very beautiful message, a very deep message. However, I feel like it goes both ways. As I said before, I do think that we must, I don't know if this is just my opinion, but I think that we must find that sense of completion and wholeness and love within ourselves first, within our own souls. And then I think that perhaps makes it possible to find it elsewhere within anybody, no matter if it's romantic or not. But again, your soul is saying the same thing, is that I think there's a yearning within you. And if this is resonating for you guys and you are not currently in any kind of a connection that makes you feel that way, at least some of the times, and even if it does, the message again is still the same, is that they want you to find a sense of completion within your own self. And I have a good example of this that I just kind of discovered only recently. I've told you guys many times that I love to write, but for a while I was not writing, and it killed me. It absolutely did. And in my case, writing and that sort of creativity, that particular creativity, was the way that I personally felt complete within my soul. Okay, and I can tell you that just by dipping back into writing, just like a day and a half, made the world of a difference for me. So if you guys can find anything at all that makes your soul sing and feel passionate and feel complete or fulfilled, even if in small ways, this right now is another key for you. This is the key for you, and you're going to find such inner enlightenment from this. And if you don't have any idea of what that could be, you can ask your spirit guides, who are always here. I'll link below in the description some past pick of cards I've done that could help with that topic as well, such as what your soul wants to tell you, your sense of purpose, your abilities, kind of the usual stuff I link. Okay, any final messages? Inner child of group number 1. What else do you want to tell them? Thank you. What else? What final message do you have for them? Thank you. Okay, so your final messages. You have, this is the Strength card, Kitty, based off of my childhood cat. So your inner child said this was a very simple and, again, very warm message. I am always here for you. And they even are giving you this little token. They might leave you some things to show you that they're there for you. Little sort of spots of color in your life and warmth and love. And you're just wondering to yourself, where did that come from, right? I think it's your own inner child trying to reach you. It's like a little toy kind of a thing. And there's a football in the background just to kind of remind you to play. And that, I think, is sort of like the classic message I thought was going to come through, that the child wants to play, but we need to play. We need to have joy and fun and be present, however you achieve that. And then the final card we have is actually what the other group got as their card, is Hanging Around. This is the Hanged Man. Again, I'm drawn to the watch, the concept of time. Now, this is interesting because this Hanging Around card, the watch is actually broken. You can't really see it that well on this camera, but the watch is broken. It's cracked. So to represent the fact that there is no time, like we are suspended in time, and it's just like a pause, sort of like limbo, right? And your inner child is saying that this is what needs to happen. Number one, you must surrender a lot of what you were holding on to, and that is hard to do. That's very hard to do. You can try to do that through just simple visualization, affirmations, just like the practice of letting go on a regular basis to kind of get used to it, make it a habit. But that is what your inner child is saying to do, to release, surrender, and also when it comes to time, I think their final message is you may have to repair your relationship with time. So for example, if you feel pressured by time, release those pressures and say, the only one who's putting pressure on me is me. And then try to forgive yourself or give yourself permission to let that go. If you feel pressure or issues from like the past, again, the whole concept of surrender is here to guide you. Okay, so, wow. Group number 1, I think I'm going to leave it there. This could certainly keep going, this reading, but I think that, again, your inner child wishes to now become part of your spirit team if that was not already happening, and they're going to make a huge difference for you. Okay, so group 1, that's what I have for you. Again, if you enjoyed these cards, you can watch the unboxing video, or you can place a pre-order. And of course, I would be immensely grateful for that. Thank you to everyone who has already done so. And but if not, we also have the personal readings. Link is below if you want a personal reading with me. Okay, so thank you to your inner child, and I will see you next time. Okay, take care. Bye-bye. Hey guys, this is the reading for those of you that chose group number 2, which is Hanging Around, or the Hanged Man. So we're going to get some advice, messages, guidance from your inner child. Sorry if you can hear the fan. My computer kind of just went nuts right now. Spirit, this reading is for group number 2, please, Hanging Around. And the messages that their inner child has for them at this time. Please provide us clear, guided messages. Thank you. Okay, so again, as I said in the intro, if you want to see the unboxing video where I flip through the whole thing, you can check out the description for the link. Okay, so inner child, I'm going to address them directly. Inner child, please, inner child of group number 2, Hanging Around. What is the first thing that you would like to tell them? Group number 2, inner child of group number 2, Hanging Around. What would you like to tell them, please? Thank you. What is your first message for them? Oopsie. Kind of got a twofer there. So you actually got the Hanged Man again at the bottom, which is kind of cool. I don't know if maybe you identify with the Hanged Man or this particular card, Hanging Around, like maybe some sort of spiritual wisdom, or it's a mystery. Like, this card is looking at me with an air of mystery. So I'm not sure if this is just you guys' aura, like sort of like mysterious and alluring. I don't know yet, but let's take a look at your cards. You have the Ace of Imagination, which is the Ace of Cups. And interestingly, then you have the Two of Swords, or the Two of Cicadas in my deck. So what, in my opinion, like, this is an unusual combo. Okay, so with this Two of Swords, or Two of Cicadas, yes, I do see the maybe, I don't want to say blockage, but it could certainly be some sort of uncertainty, some sort of, like up and down kind of a thing. And then with the Ace of Imagination, I do feel like this could be what has that up and down or like a choice that you may have to make. So Ace of Imagination, for some of you, it could have to do with your heart. Others of you, it could have to do with your either creativity or with healing, because it can really vary. But right now, before I continue, perhaps it resonates already, like you do feel like something is blocked within you a little bit. I actually think that might be a common message for this whole entire video, because that is what our inner child probably would tell us first, is that, hey, like, let me express myself, right? Can you give us a little bit more clarity, inner child of group number 2? What is your message for them, your first message? Okay, it was just that. Okay, so this is the Star card. You have here the Fireflies. So this is a card of a lot of daydreams. It's typically about hope and faith, but I do feel like there's a lot of daydreams here going on. So I'm going to say for you guys that I think the biggest message, even if some of the other stuff resonated already, I think that your inner child is wanting you to really open yourself up to literally imagine things and to be hopeful and to have visions and to explore this side of yourself. It is a highly spiritual side of yourself, but it's also creative and, again, literally imaginative. So I'm not sure how you are in a general sense, if you're a bit more practical, just more like earth energy type of a thing, instead of, let's say, water energy, maybe kind of like envisioning things quite often. I'm not sure. But whatever the case is, your inner child is asking you to open this up way more. And I think that the reason for this is, well, for one, it's going to make you happy. And for two, it's going to affect your destiny, your path, and what's in front of you. But they're saying that unless you open this up totally and you're unafraid and you just have that courage to do this, it really won't have that potential and it won't reach that potential. Can you tell us a little bit more about the Two of Swords or the Two of Cicadas? I don't know if this is exactly a feeling of maybe stubbornness or sometimes just feeling a bit rigid about things. That would make sense because that energy does get in the way of imagination. Let me give an example. So let's say that you just want to dream. You just want to daydream and think about the future or think about bizarre things, wacky things, like, basically what a child would do. I think that a lot of the times our adult selves will squash that before we even get a chance to take flight with it. And that's not fair to us because it's almost as if we're taking all the magic out of life and out of our minds, and we're just being so day to day, and there's not a lot of magic in that. So that is what your inner child is asking you to do, is just to allow yourself to dream. So whether that's through just telling stories, thinking and daydreaming and fantasizing about whatever it might be, having visions, having any creative projects at all, whatever it might be, your inner child is telling you that now is the time that you need this. It's becoming something that is essential to your happiness. So I don't know your current level of happiness or fulfillment, but whatever it is for you all, your inner child is saying that this is really going to take things to the next level of joy and connectedness to divine and to spirituality. Is this the case? Can you tell us a little bit more detail? Inner child of group number 2 hanging around. What do you want to tell them, please? Okay, yeah, I'm seeing it here. Okay, so we have 2 cards that do appear to have some sort of conflict or resistance. We have the 7 of Summertime or 7 of Wands, competition sort of thing. And then we have here the 5 of Wands or the 5 of Summertime. Everybody is just fighting with one another. Okay, so as I said before, maybe you do sometimes fight with yourself, or I don't really know with who exactly, but there could be some sort of conflict. Now, if it's not that you're fighting with yourself, it could be that your environment is fighting against you. Maybe some of you, maybe not all of you, but I think a smaller number of you, it could be that you're in an environment that is always at odds with you. You're living in an environment, or you're exposed to an environment regularly, or even some of the times, that it's fighting against you and closing your creativity, closing your ideas, kind of just pushing against you, and you're not able to let yourself be free. Okay, so whatever resonates for you, it's just saying that there is again an energy of resistance or some sort of conflict that is restricting your ability to dream. So whether it's outside or within yourself, I think that if it's within yourself, it might seem like, oh, okay, it's something we can change, but it's obviously not that easy. It does require I mean, it requires a lot of strength over time to change one's thoughts and beliefs and stuff. But one thing I've recommended in past videos to change one's thoughts, you can just simply say the word maybe. And you can say, okay, maybe I can start to give myself more freedom. Maybe I can stop, like criticizing myself all the time, whatever the case is. Can you tell us a little bit more, maybe about their future, about what's best for them and their highest good, inner child of group 2? So I just asked about the future, and they gave us a literal future card. Actually, I think these are pretty similar. We have here the Two of Summertime, or the Two of Wands. You're holding the fortune teller, looking into the future. I see you as the hermit crab. I very much see you as that tiny little hermit crab. You need, I think, protection in order to feel safe to explore these daydreams or visions of the future. Now, when I say daydreams, I'm not trying to imply that these are just silly little things. These, and maybe you have felt silly when you have thought of these things, but the truth is that these are real visions. These are real psychic visions, or at least intuitions that you have been receiving over probably a very long time. And because of maybe this restriction, you haven't quite been able to really master a way to create these into reality, and therefore you have sort of been the learner of imagination, or the Knight of Cups. So you can see in the background you have the easel, and it's completely blank. So this is such a great time to begin to learn to basically paint. But like in this case, your inner child is saying it's time to learn how to paint your life's picture in the way that you want it. Again, if some of you have lived a life that was restrictive in some way, if there's been a lot of pressures, expectations, or pushback, whatever was causing this, they're saying that now is the time to take that blank canvas and just draw or paint or create whatever you want for yourself. You have two different spirit guide messages here. You have the butterfly with the heart's up here, and then you have the white feather down here. I think that you have received quite a bit of spirit guidance over time, and I think on some level you know this, and you're like, yeah, there's certain weird things that have happened to me. There's certain things that were unexplainable, but I kind of just brushed them off. Maybe it was just coincidence. These are actually your guides. They're trying to show you something specific and say, hey, look this way. We're trying to direct you on the path. So maybe you can begin to form that relationship. Then we have here the Wind. This is the World card. Okay. Again, I'm getting the message. Oh, yeah, I see it here. The direct link here that you have the paths. You see that? You have two paths featured here in these cards. Okay. And, okay, your inner child is telling you a specific thing now, but it is going to resonate differently depending. Your inner child is asking you to take a look at the path that you have walked so far in your life, okay? So if you feel like you have been walking a path that was determined by others, your inner child is saying, again, like I said before, to now walk a path for yourself, for your visions, for your own highest good, right? And let's say some of you have felt, okay, well, if I do that, isn't that being selfish? Well, I guess that kind of depends, but when it comes to being authentic and really opening your own heart space and your own soul and your own truth, I don't think that is selfish at all. I think that it's just following your truth. So it's up to you, of course, like only you will know that. But that is that's one message that's coming through here, is that it is time to begin to walk your own path. Okay, so take some time to let that, absorb, write about it, maybe just meditate on it, and see how you can begin to take a different path than you were before. Is there any other message, anything else that they need to know? Inner child of group number 2. Anything about the future? So again, like the Two of Summertime over here with the little fortune teller, I think that there's a lot of power that comes from your hopefulness and optimism about the future, but they're saying, please do not squash that. Please do not crush the dream before you even let it breathe or become born at all. It's a mixture of, again, expectations, pressures, but it also could be a fear of failure, a fear of success. Basically, fear can really suffocate us. Okay, any final messages? Inner child of group 2. Yeah, I think that you have done really well for yourself. Your inner child is saying with the 9 of polynoses or the 9 of pentacles, you have done well for yourself. I mean, or this to me is a present card, but it also is showing the future, that if this was a concern of yours, you don't have to be afraid. You are going to do well for yourself because this is part of who you are. You are a person to be able to stand tall in your own independence and your own, I would say even like good judgment. And there will be this freedom, there will be this autonomy and even financial freedom for a lot of you, depending on like where you are in your journey. You're probably, a lot of you working towards that. Maybe you've already achieved it. But this is what your inner child is saying, that there is no reason to be afraid of that part of the puzzle. It'll come with the equation, okay? Alrighty. Any final messages, Spirit or inner child of group 2? What would you like to tell them? Thank you. Okay, so we got 2 cards. And it's funny because the bottom of the deck, your final bottom deck card is actually Daydream. This is the High Priestess card. If you do personally find it difficult to daydream and to let yourself have these visions, you might want to just Google the High Priestess card and kind of get inspired by her energy. She's very mysterious. Actually, that's the first thing I said. That's weird. That's the first thing I said about you guys. Just allow yourself to drift in your consciousness. It's like a weird sensation, but yeah. Okay, your final cards we have here are the 3 of Imagination or the 3 of Cups. There are friends here surrounding you. I think that you may just need to spend time with people who spark your inner light. You see the fire there that's shared. This could be with best friends. This could be with any connections, even if they're sort of random. Any kind of social interaction with people that share some common interest would be a great thing if possible. If that's not at all possible, you can still achieve this in some manner, just by tapping into that energy, maybe writing about it, just voice journaling about it, talking to your guides about it, or anybody. Like I said, I think that that's going to be something that's very helpful. And then the final card, this is you guys. This is you guys, the Child of Summertime, the Page of Wands. Again, you have the guide here, the dolphin. What better guide to have than a dolphin? Just out, like, let's play, let's swim, let's be children. This is your fire. So your inner child is a bit clever, right? And they saved this card for last to say that this is where 100% of your passion lies, is back here with us in childhood, back before anything mattered, back before anything turned into what it is today. Just, the memories of this state of being present and pure. Okay. And I did talk about that in the unboxing video in the theme of why I created this deck. I know it's hard for a lot of people to consider that childhood was a state of play. I completely understand that. But what your inner child is saying, it's like tap into the archetype energy of childhood. So if you can't necessarily do that through thinking of childhood, you can do that through hanging out with animals, especially dogs or any kind of happy-go-lucky animals. They will help to teach you or to reteach you how to tap into this energy, that passionate energy. So group 2, I think I'm going to leave it there. This was a really interesting read. This whole, I've only done 2 groups so far, but these are really interesting reads. So yeah, if you do like this deck, you can check out the unboxing video below, or if you'd like to pre-order, it is available for pre-order. Thank you guys so much. personal reading information with me is also below. Okay, thank you, and I will see you next time. Okay, take care. Bye-bye. Hey guys, this is the reading for those of you that chose group number 3, the Wheel, or the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so let's shuffle. Spirit, this reading is for group number 3, the Wheel. Sorry. Please provide us clear guided messages. Thank you. So as I said in the intro, the unboxing video where I show you the whole deck this is the one I made in case you guys missed the video. I'll link that below. Inner child. So I'm going to address your inner child directly. Inner child of group number 3, the Wheel. I feel like this is going to be interesting. Just the card you picked is quite interesting. What is your message, please? Group 3, inner child of group 3, the Wheel. What would you like to tell them, inner child? Group 3. There it is. You have the 8 of Imagination, or the 8 of Cups, and immediately, and I knew they were going to do this. You see the message right there? You have a lot more of them. That's really, yeah, I told you it would be an interesting one. So I'm not sure what they're getting at just yet, but the fact that you have at least 8 or 9 notes, messages that are waiting for you to discover them says a lot. So again, I don't know what it is yet, but I think that you're going to be receiving a ton of information in the near future about your destiny. Huge, huge message. Okay, so inner child, would you like to give us a little bit more clarity of group 3, inner child? Thank you. So yes, this is the journey. You are on this journey. And what I do find most interesting is that you're actually walking ahead of the papers and the scraps on the ground. Like this might represent your old ways of doing things. You were trying to write the story a certain way, so to speak, but then you kind of scrapped it. You're like, no, let me try this way. There's a lot of exploration here, though. Whatever the case is, you are forward focused on your journey. And I think that many of you, if not all of you, you're kind of writing the story of you as you go along. So it's a little bit of improvising energy. It's spontaneous energy. And I think the reason for this might be because there's just so much to explore, and you're open to all of it. And that's why you're adapting as you go along. But let's see what your inner child has to say next. Yeah. Okay, we have the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Imagination. And I feel like you're holding it in your hands. I feel like you're holding, again, the entire path, the entire story in the palm of your hand. You're very powerful when it comes to channeling inspiration from the divine. I don't know if you feel that way, but this is a special ability that you might have. I was mentioning that I'm going to link important pick a cards, past ones below, and one of them is what are your unique gifts. You may have already seen it, but there is a unique gift that you have to be a conduit of inspiration from, again, either creativity or psychic energy. So this is really big. Wow. I feel the energy. Like I'm literally seeing this imagination swirling in the hand and kind of just even making some sounds, trickling heavy water energy, like I said. So let's see what else they want to say about it. Okay, inner child, what is the actual message now? Inner child of group 3. Yeah, they said that, as I was talking about before, that you create your own destiny. I do think that you have that ability, which is, I mean, I think that that's pretty rare. You have the 8 of Swords. Okay, so, or the 8 of Cicadas. So here's what your inner child is going to tell you. They're going to give you a little tough love right now, and they're saying you have to step out of the cage, or the crib in this case. You have to step out of the box because you've outgrown it and you cannot quite stretch your wings unless you climb out of this. So what this means is that you perhaps may have, I don't know exactly how it translates, but maybe you've been stuck in a box of some sort, right? Whether it's mentally with limiting beliefs, or if it's with your environment. Another group got a similar message. It could be something with that as well. So just for a moment, think to yourself, okay, what is the thing right now that's limiting me the most? Is it myself, my thoughts? Is it my beliefs? Is it my negative thoughts? Or is it like something outside? Is it my environment? Is it something in my physical body? Is it something like with my connections, my career? You know, it could be anything, obviously, right? But your inner child is saying that, hey, you have an opportunity right now to move on from that previous chapter where it wasn't serving you, and to take that power back, and to again, to step outside of this. Your inner child is making clear that there's something you're currently not seeing. And yes, it could just be the fact that some of you could be stuck in a box. That could be part of it. But I think there is a bit of a blind spot. Let's see what they could be talking about. Can you tell us what the blind spot is, please? Inner child of group 3, the wheel. What is the blind spot? Thank you. 8 of cicadas. Thank you. No answer. Let's see. I don't know. They don't want to tell me, or aha. They don't want to tell me, actually. Look at that. They're like, nope. This is the 4 of imagination, 4 of cups. So, again, it does feel like something could be a bit closed off. Bottom of the deck, you got the 3 of cicadas, or the 3 of swords. The balloon is bursting here. And I'm also noticing the loner, or the hermit. Okay. So, you know what, group 3? It's your inner child, for some reason, they're not speaking directly to me. They're not using words and impressions, but it's more like feelings, and it's implied information. I don't know if that makes any sense, but they're very much indirect. So I don't know if that resonates with how you guys tend to communicate, but they're being a bit indirect, and and this whole time, it's as if they're speaking in riddles. So if this resonates for you, it could come through in your life as that perhaps you, as a person, in your soul, maybe there is a riddle to you. Maybe you are a bit complex, or sort of like a puzzle, you know, and I don't know if you consider that a good thing or a bad thing, but I think that there's a lot within you that is to be figured out, or that other people have to figure out. And you and your inner child are kind of on the same page here. You do have with your inner child a collaborative energy. You are working together, but you're not actually communicating with one another. So wow. Didn't expect that kind of a message. So the question is how, right? Both sides, I'm getting the cryptic riddle energy. So what does that mean for you guys in terms of opening that up? I would say my first guess to you would actually be something analytic, such as some kind of writing, or some kind of deep meditation, perhaps. Let me see what they say. Is there a way to better communicate with you, inner child of group 3? 6 of swords, or 6 of cicadas. This is similar to the first card with the pencil. See? Kind of like moving on from something. I think you're looking away from one another. Okay, here it is. Again, your inner child, and I think your energy was mixing here to say we're not really looking at each other. We're looking away. Here's what you have to do, and it sounds simple, but I know that this is not easy. you have to look at yourself. Some of you may have to literally look at yourself in the mirror, really look at who you are, and face something. Others of you, you may have to look internally, and yes, you could achieve this by journal writing, by just taking some time, maybe, I don't know, like 15 minutes or something, and writing about yourself, what's in there, what you're feeling, what you're thinking. Yes, you could explore stuff about your past if you feel like it, but whatever the case is, the point is to get to know you. So if it's been a while since you've had some alone time in the woods, like so to speak, or maybe literally, you're going to benefit from this. You have to look inward. You have to look at yourself. And I think that you and your inner child, there may be a little bit of that avoidance because of fear. And that's a lot of us. I feel like that's most of us. It takes practice to be able to do that. If you are afraid, if this resonates with you, if you're afraid of what you might find within yourself, just know that, again, all of us go through these things, and that if you feel like a sense of tension or, a fear or shame or guilt or whatever the case is, that you can heal these energies through self-love and unconditional love. So if you're picturing your child self and you're meditating with your child self, say, I accept you, I love you unconditionally, and you're safe here with me. So it's just like this self-love sort of journey. Okay, so all of that, all of that is what your inner child wishes to tell you, but they didn't say it directly. So I kind of had to, interpret that. But this has perfectly to do with the card that you chose, which is the destiny. Okay. And once you begin to do this and work with yourself and really open up with yourself and to yourself, your path of destiny and everything else in between is going to open up for you. It's going to open up, and this is a very powerful message. It's going to open up in ways that you never would have imagined, and it's going to bring you so much joy. Okay, so wow, what a message. Any final messages, please? Group number 3, inner child of group 3, the wheel. This was very unique. Okay. You have here the 5 of polynoses or the 5 of pentacles. Again, someone here may feel left out in the cold. If this does relate to a time of your life, during childhood or any time in the past, this could give you a lot of explanation as to why your inner child and you have this connection, or lack of connection or lack of communication now, because at one point you may have felt left out in the cold, and it just sort of created these barriers, or like there's this snow that has to thaw within yourself, like within your heart. Remember, you had the 3 of Swords. So yeah, lots of healing is going to really do wonderful things for you. And again, all of this I do feel can be healed with so much unconditional love and acceptance, and just a feeling of that will lead to a feeling of safety. Okay. Again, I know it's not easy. I know it's easier said than done, but this is something that will really make a difference. Can we have a final message, Spirit, or inner child of group number 3? Do you have a final message for them? Thank you. Final message for group number 3. I just want one more. All right. The future is looking quite bright. We have the 2 of summertime, or the 2 of wands. You're feeling in the future, like in the near future, you're going to be feeling that sense of hopefulness, and to say, maybe it's not so scary. Like I can do this. I can start to dream again. I think one of the other groups got a very similar message, but this is really unique. Okay, as I said to you before, I said that it's going to be a sense of joy or happiness that you never would have even imagined. And look, we got confirmation of that right here. See, this is the 9 of Cups, or the 9 of imagination. You have everything here surrounding you that fulfills you. It's your fulfillment, your joy. And then you have the win. You're winning here. This is the World card. This is your sense of completion. This is your achievement. I do feel that a lot of you, and including your own inner child, this is what you've always wanted. You want that feeling of victory, or you want that feeling of that inner achievement or outer achievement, of course. And here it is, okay? So I think that more than anything else, the messages here were definitely a lot of advice. I mean, again, like they weren't communicating directly, but I think that that said a lot in itself, okay? So, yes, that's what I have for you, group number 3. I really hope that this was helpful. I mean, very kind of difficult to get some of these messages, but I do hope that it was helpful. Thank you guys so much. So if you're interested in this deck and pre-ordering or checking out the images, you can click the links below. Personal readings are open. The link for that is also below. Okay, so thank you guys so much. Sending you love, sending you healing, and I will see you next time. Okay, take care. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, this is the reading for those of you that chose group number 4, which is the 2 of Imagination, or the 2 of Cups. Okay, so I'm going to address your inner child directly. Let us shuffle. Again, as I said in the intro, if you want to check out this deck that I made, you can check out the links below and pre-order as well if you'd like. Spirit, this reading is for group number 4, please. 2 of Imagination, and what their inner child wants to tell them. Please provide us clear, guided messages. So, the inner child, please, of group number 4, 2 of Imagination. What is the first thing that you would like to tell them, please? Group 4, thank you. Inner child of group 4, what would you like to tell them? Okay, so immediately your inner child is telling me that in the next either 2 days or 2 weeks, so either way, the very near future, there is going to be some important psychic information that's going to come towards you. So basically either a sign, clarity, an answer, something having to do even with action. This is coming towards you in the very near future. This is the first message I'm getting like this. So your inner child, I think similar to, must have been group 1, is acting a bit as a spirit guide of some sort. I didn't think your inner child would just want to tell you a future prediction, but that's where they started. So let's keep going here. So inner child, what would you like to tell them, please? What would you like to tell group 4? Let me just get one, please. Can I just get one at a time? Okay, I don't want to pull the wrong cards, but all right. Let's see. So group 4, I don't know exactly the nature of this thing that's going to hit you. There is a chance it may have to do with the next card, but if not, we'll keep getting messages. So this is the forgiveness card. This is actually the judgment card. There is an angel above this child's head praying. And then you see the trumpet in the background, which echoes the traditional judgment image of the angel playing the sound. Yeah, okay, I get it. Your angel is going to give you this message. Now, the word forgiveness, that is my title for the card, but in this case, it could be a connection for you, right? Even though it is technically the judgment card. So forgiveness. Now, group 4. What does this word mean to you? Does this resonate with something within yourself, with your environment, with people, with like something you've been feeling lately, right? Whatever the case is, yes, this could have to do with the thing that's coming towards you. Okay, if not, it's still, I think an energy that is going to reach you regardless. What I'm getting from this card for you, forgiveness, I do feel a very deep connection with divine that you're going to be experiencing either way. Yes, you might be faced with some sort of an important decision. I'm drawn to the window in the background, the night and day sort of split there. And I do think that something is going to strike you and say, we have to take a look at this. We have to decide something. So let's keep getting messages. Your inner child, although they wanted to speak very quickly and freely, they're a little like hard to read, or just speaking in riddles. One other group did get that. I don't know what it means exactly, but it's a little cryptic. Okay, group four, inner child of group four, 2 of imagination. What is your message for them next? What would you like to tell them, please? Okay, we have the 9 of polynoses or pentacles. And what else? And then you have the 8 of cicadas or the 8 of swords. I think I may need one more. Is this all having to do with the same thing, please? Whoops. Inner child of group 4. What is your final concluding message for this here? Okay. Right. Okay. So here you have another 9, the 9 of imagination or cups. So what I am gathering from all of this, I do think some of you, it is possible that some of you may need to forgive yourselves for something. I'm not sure what it is. You may also have to forgive someone else as well, but only because it is something that may have been blocking you in a very profound way. So we'll get back to that. But I think that's what your inner child is getting at. So I'll show you these. Okay, so here's the happiness card, right? This is a card that perhaps has been blocking quite a bit of your vision or your freedom. And then this is the card of freedom in itself. This is sort of like maybe a particular type of freedom that you were envisioning, let's say. So again, putting all of this together, I think that a lot of you have been on this journey. I don't know if you've been walking your path by yourself or you've been wanting to, either one. But there is this, again, this sense of restriction. I don't remember which group got this, but if you were drawn to another group in addition to this one, I do recommend that you watch that afterwards and just see if you get like those cross messages, because I do think there might be something there for you, because it's sounding pretty similar. What do you call the crib? Okay, the crib. Now, in your case, it's not the crib that I'm drawn to like I was in the other one. I'm actually more drawn to the bottle. And that phrase comes to mind, don't cry over spilled milk or whatever it was. Now, this spilled milk, this is representing, I think, regret. I don't know from whom, right? I don't know who regrets something. If it is you, again, you may need to forgive yourself for something. If it is someone else who did some kind of wrong, then it would be them. But whatever the case is, like I said, forgiveness or this connection with divine in some way, or yourself, your higher self, actually, yes, your higher self, has a lot to do with how your life is going to shift in the near future. I'm posting this April 1st. Well-ish. And I do feel for sure before the end of the year, probably much sooner actually, you are going to feel this shift. And I do think that you may have heard me say that more than once in previous pick of cards, that you're going to experience some sort of an intense awakening, some sort of enlightenment. And what that is you're climbing higher and you're becoming more and more of your higher frequency, your higher self. Okay. Again, your inner child is still being a little bit cryptic and indirect. Can you tell us more? In spirit, can you assist us here? Inner child of group 4, what would you like to tell them? Okay, we have here temperance or flow. Kind of the same thing. When I see the temperance card, I do typically think of healing. I do think of reconciliation. And in this case, the flow energy is telling me that this is what your soul is actually wanting to say as well. Your inner child might not feel free to be in the state of flow or creativity or spiritual energy at all times. But I think that may be because a lot of the times you're sort of being the gatekeeper of that. I don't know if maybe regularly you are a creative person, but in those moments where you're either being creative or spiritual or just like very, very present, a lot of you, it even could be in nature, something really magical happens. It unlocks something within you. So inner child, what else? What else? What do you have to tell them, please? What would you like to tell them? What do you want them to know? Inner child of group 4, 2 of imagination. I feel like they're kind of giving me scattered messages and they're trying to tell me something important, but it's a bit, I think, disjointed for some reason, and I'm not sure why. And this could be why, actually. Again, very similar to that other group that I was mentioning, if you felt called to another group. This is the 5 of summertime, the 5 of wands. There could be some sort of conflict internally or externally, or I guess both, that is preventing you from being able to feel free, to feel safe enough to go after that joy, to go after that particular form of fulfillment. If you have already been trying to do that, some of you might feel a bit frustrated to say, well, I have been trying to walk my path and nothing is working, nothing is aligning, it's not falling into place, okay? I can give you one possible reason for this, but I might not be entirely accurate because this is just my opinion here. I feel that in a general sense, if things are not aligning, it may be because I don't want to say like forcing things, but we're kind of like, we may be using our logic versus our gut level intuition and spirit, right? I don't know if that's the case. But you know what it also could be? It could be that things are just not quite aligned for you just yet. And that is hard to deal with because, believe me, I understand when people say that we need patience. I know how hard this is. There's certain things that for me took decades to align. For real, like it sucks. It is not fun. It is not at all. But the reality is that is how it goes sometimes. We don't ever really have clear answers as to why certain things take longer in alignment, other things, it's quicker, we can manifest them, but for whatever reason it's taking as long as it's taking. Yes, the only thing that's left is we have to trust that. And I know that's not easy to do at all. But just keep it in mind, okay? So again, follow your intuition rather than, let's say, being too much in the head space, too much in the logic. Just try to follow your gut, your heart, your soul, like kind of more feeling it and feeling the waves, being in that flow. But again, if you're already doing that and you're still not seeing it align, like I said, be very patient, open yourself up to that alignment, and again, put your trust within your guides and the divine. I know that's not your favorite thing to hear, though. Anything else? Inner child, what would you like to tell them? Inner child of... Oh, wait a minute. How did that happen? My mind was trailing off, and I noticed that one of the cards was flipped, and it's actually the Lover's card, the 1. That's interesting. I don't know how that happened. Is there a reason that happened, inner child? Okay, I do remember now. It was group... If you were drawn to group number 1, I think that's where I saw it. Because I remember in group 1, I said to them something about a twin flame, and that was a little unusual for group 1, in my experience. You have here the Master of Imagination. This is the King of Cups. I feel like a lot of you kind of know who a King of Cups is in your life. I mean, it even could be you. But I'm trying to ask about what this could be with the card of the 1, the Lovers, and the fact that it's next to the 2 of Imagination. Perhaps, perhaps there is somebody that resonates with your soul, and you're just sort of, your inner child is sort of kind of giving a message about that. Is there a message for them about this person, please, or about this connection, whatever it could be to them? Well, there is a lot of mystery, and there are a lot of unanswered questions, but let's see, is there a conclusion to this then? Yeah. Is there a conclusion to this, please? Inner child. Could be a lot of frustration as well. Wow. This is nuts. You got two of the most hidden energy cards that you could possibly have drawn, and you may know what I'm about to say. It's the Moon, or the Labyrinth, in my deck, and the Seven of Swords, or Seven of Cicadas. There's a lot of mystery and hidden energy when it comes to, I believe, a connection. And if it's not a romantic connection, it could be, yes, it could be the connection with yourself, but this is something that really resonates within your soul. There's a lot of unanswered questions. So what, Spirit, can you tell us what is the purpose of bringing this up, please? Did we say in the beginning, I think I did, right, that you're going to have some sort of a, yeah, that's what I did say that. So it could have to do with that, perhaps. That's only a part of it. Don't worry, there's more. But there is going to be a huge flow of information coming towards you in the very near future, up to 2 weeks max. So, well, they said 2 days to 2 weeks. Some of you, if you feel like it didn't happen in 2 weeks, there's a small percentage of you, it could even be 3 weeks, but it's still very close, really, really close, okay? So don't worry. What was the purpose of bringing this, please? This message, please. Thank you. They're mentioning looking into this water. I find this very poetic. So they said here, look into the water. Okay. Now, in my version here, you can see that the reflection of the pool, or whatever, the water, looks like a maze, looks like a labyrinth, and they want you to look into that. So they want you to look into something that has caused you uncertainty, maybe fear, confusion, and, you know, mystery. They want you to look into it, though. They don't want you to look away. They don't want you to avoid thinking about this thing. They want you to look, and they want you to understand it. So it resonates differently, but have you been avoiding looking into yourself? Have you been avoiding looking into a situation? Whatever it is that has perplexed you, they want you to spend time with and really get out your thoughts and really reflect on this, to come to some sort of internal shift. And then that is, I think, also going to be an influence in that thing that's coming towards you in the near future, the message that we got first. Okay, so your other two cards. I'm sorry, I always do this, but it's the Four of Wands, the Four of Summertime. Okay, so again, you can see that this is a recurring thing. Yes, absolutely, it is a recurring thing. And then you got the Learner of Imagination, the Knight of Cups. And then you have that butterfly up top with the hearts. Okay. So, Spirit is helping us with this last part of the message, because the inner child is a bit timid. I think the inner child is feeling a little bit wounded, although they didn't say this. They did not tell me directly at all, but I can feel it. What I feel, I actually feel Five of Pentacles energy, where it's the person with the crutch in the snow. I feel like someone's inner child here is quite wounded, feeling disconnected, left in the cold, abandoned in whatever way. And that's why I feel in a lot of ways or at least they feel that they have lost the ability to express themselves in a meaningful way. Ooh, that hit me. That hit me. Okay. So how can they heal this most effectively in their highest good, Spirit? We have the Eight of Pentacles or polynoses. The only way to heal anything, I do feel, is just little by little over time. So this Eight of Polynoses is showing like you're working on something in a very focused manner, in a diligent manner over time. So I think that it may not even be a mystery to you guys how to heal how to heal this, how to heal some inner wounds. It's just a matter of trusting the fact that it is going to take that patience and that little by little shift, right? So I have provided some healing meditations that you can do, that you can picture your child self. You can picture the past, any kind of memories that you wish to heal, and then you can send it energy from here, right? So you're sending it energy. So whether it's protection, unconditional love, forgiveness, any kind of warmth at all that you needed at that time, you can provide that now. So it's like you're working simultaneously, present and past. But like I said, it is going to take that diligence. It's definitely not an easy task to do, but you certainly can achieve this. Again, but you're going to have to do it little by little, rebuilding. Is there any other effective ways that they can heal any of these wounds? So it just started to kind of downpour. I don't know if you can hear the rain. Cleansing would be an amazing thing for you guys. You can do any meditation with water. You can visit the water element anywhere, like any body of water, even if it's, I guess you can still do water stuff within your home, baths, showers, salt, stuff like that. Cleansing, you're going to need to cleanse this. So again, you picture the past and then you send it cleansing energy. Using the element of water is going to be really great. Any final messages for that? Spirit, something that they can do to heal. And with support. I know that sounds kind of like a cliche thing, but you are going to need support in order to achieve this healing. So whether it's through friendships or, spirit guides or support groups or whatever, just to know that you're not alone. I think that that's so valuable, even though, again, it does sound sort of like cliche advice, but it's true. We do need that. And my final advice, because I was feeling this for you guys, is for you to just simply sit down and express yourself without stopping yourself. So whether that's like you're writing songs or poetry or you're, creating a sculpture or like whatever, it could be anything. Try not to stop yourself and just go for it. Just get into that flow, okay? So inner child, now do you have any other messages, any final messages for group number 4? Inner child of group 4, 2 of imagination. Aw, you got the 10 of imagination or the 10 of cups. Harmony. This is harmony. And I do feel, yes, it is harmony with yourself and with other people, but, obviously that's going to depend on what is going on with your situation. But either way, it feels like you're in this gratitude energy. Again, they're talking about you being very present. So even just expressing gratitude for everything as it is now, and even manifesting that energy of gratitude for the future, so you can have the things that will bring you joy, will be healing for you. Okay, so Spirit, final message for group number 4, please. Final message. Thank you. Okay. Group 4, your final card is the Teacher. Kind of a mysterious last message, but this is actually the Hierophant card. The Teacher. I think that there is an energy right now, and again, it could be your higher self, it could be anybody that is coming towards you in the near future, that you're really meant to learn something from them. And on the tapestry here in the back, it's just simply says the prayer. It's something I just made up. It's not a real prayer, but there is something special that can come through for you in the near future by just prayer, meditation, or reaching out to something outside of yourself. Final thing I want to point out is that on the clock you have 444. I don't know if that means anything to you, but you may be seeing repeating numbers as well to give you some sort of a sign. Is there anything that you want to learn as well in the near future, just to enhance a skill and again to feel present? A new skill, a new craft would be amazing for you guys. Alrighty, so that was a bit challenging for me to kind of piece together. So if you do feel that you want to improve that in that connection, that expression, now could be the perfect time to start. So group 4, I'm going to leave it there. I hope that this was helpful. If you are interested to view the cards, you can click the links below. And you can also pre-order personal reading information if you want a personal reading with me. The info is also below. Okay, so thank you guys so much. Sending you love, sending you blessings, and I will see you next time. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.